Notes from the underground. Addendum. Postscript. Um, yeah, postscript. Painting by numbers. Um, One of you made the possible mistake of encouraging me after last night's, uh, as usual, overlong talk. So, there were some things that I kind of left out because I felt that was going on too long. Really having to do with the notes from the underground part, and but also having to do with kind of the YouTube scene, the digital social media, music production, yeah, the music scene uh, as it is developing in our day and age. Um, yeah, just a few more thoughts to share, to put out there. um, I'm just going to go ahead and direct your attention to my channel's YouTube feed here. Uh, just dive right into it. So I just fired up this tab, went to YouTube, and this is what came up. And sure enough, yeah, I'm gonna put the spotlight on uh, a certain content creator today. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to shit on anybody. That's not well. There are some groups and kinds of people that I absolutely yeah, I'm a shit poster. That's something that I do engage in. I have my opinions, strong opinions. Um, I do try to leave them out of this channel for the most part, but uh, in terms of like the home recording, audio production scene, um, my policies, I don't want to come across like I'm shitting on anybody because I'm fair game. You know, if I can were to continue to grow in visibility, people are going to start shitting on me. So what goes around comes around. Um, so it's not like I'm not shitting on this guy. I'm not going to shit on this guy. But there are, let's say, certain perspectives and attitudes that he's going to be a placeholder for today. All right, uh, he represents certain things that I have issues with. So trying to be fair and balanced, but this is the guy that I'm going to focus on today. Not this guy, Davey 504. He's a monster. What a talented dude. But this guy, Frightbox Recording. Um, yeah, just look at the name of the channel, Frightbox Recording. Um, you know, I don't know if you know about green language. Um, a lot of things that seem happenstantial are, especially in terms of language, are really anything but. I'm sure he has his own history behind that name, Frightbox. Maybe it has to do with the fact that apparently for 20 years he ran a project studio in a concrete box, and maybe it was called Frightbox Studio for all I know. But it's kind of an interesting name because uh, so this guy's model is he. Okay, I'm gonna try to choose my words carefully here. Um, I don't want to use the word exploit. trying to be charitable. He let's say he appeals to insecurities. Maybe that's even too harsh. Okay. Uh, he appeals to people who, it just seems to me, he he appeals to people who don't know what they're doing, and they're looking for somebody to tell them how to do it, and they're looking for somebody to just give them the magic pill, the one size fits all techniques, and just like look at the title of this video, how to add clarity to your heavy guitar tracks, all caps, instantly. It's just like that says everything. Paint by numbers. You might have noticed if you're into this scene, if you've got the kind of YouTube feed that I have on this channel, lately it's just like several times an hour I get an ad for this, what is it called? The Unison MIDI chord pack. And it's just so unspeakably offensive. It's offensive to me. It's awful. I hope it's just a passing fad. If you know what I'm talking about, like I did this song USB connection not too long ago, and the song had a line referring to that Unison MIDI chord pack. No need to know those chords, just drag and drop perfection. Just check it out, the Unison MIDI chord pack. Yeah. No need to learn anything about music, or no need to know chords, let alone chord progressions. Is that really the way we're heading? That's the way an awful lot of people are heading. And so now, that's like the lowest common denominator, in my opinion. These are the Unison chord pack people are typically like, Gen Zs, with their own, vernacular. They like to say that stuff is fire, sick, and I can just imagine I can just imagine their little get-togethers, their parties. I can't help but picture it, and it's just like nowhere that you'd want to go. People whose art is curating pre-sampled chord progressions, and synced to completely computerized beats with those ticking hi-hat sounds. It's just, he's not appealing to them. He's appealing to aspiring project studio people, aspiring home studio people, and it's legitimate. Okay, again, I'm not shitting on the guy. He's filling a niche, and he does a good job of it. So I'm going to say some kind things, some positive things about him. He's good at what he does. He's skilled. He's got very tight production in his videos. He's got an intro theme. We'll get to that. But look at the title of that video: how to add clarity to your heavy guitar tracks instantly, right? And that just says it all right there. I really don't have to elaborate on it. If you get my point, you get it. If I have to elaborate on it, then you probably haven't even watched this far. So anyways, I'm gonna just kind of like, well, okay, so what I'd like to do is go to this guy's channel. So Frightbox, insecurities, fright.
Take a listen.
Am I doing it right?
And
Am I not doing it right? Look at his face, right? I mean, sorry, I'm coming off of a mild chest cold. Um, you know, um, I guess he's running Pro Tools. Uh, yeah, I can't stand Pro Tools, but I digress. Um, where was I? Yeah, so let me go to his channel and so there's that. Like people want instant solutions, uh, techniques and protocols that just snap into place like Lego pieces. And so notes from the underground. It's like, oh, and let's just go back and I thought I had my thoughts collected for this, but as usual, I don't. And now it's not the same. Fixing bad music production and mixing advice, episode 1. This guy's actually pretty good in the mix. He's an English gentleman, and he knows what he's talking about. And he does longer videos sometimes. I like him. See, I don't want to shit on people. I wanna like people and what they're doing. Pat Finnerty, what makes this song stink? If you haven't discovered Pat Finnerty and his "What Makes This Song Stink" series, highly recommended. He's a funny dude. Um, Here's Sprightbox again. 3 simple, stupid simple EQ settings to clean up guitar tracks. Again, stupid in all caps. 3 stupid simple. Do you want to be stupid simple? Well, okay, so notes from the underground. These mixing mistakes are slowing you down. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. All right, okay. Again, this guy, he's okay. He's all right. They all, they all make good points. There's also this kind of thing. Layer guitars like Nirvana or Alice in Chains. This is a actual professional British producer. Like, he's an industry guy. Now, this to me is more productive and more edifying. At least it's positive. It's not like, stop doing this because I have prohibitions for you. I say it's not going to work, and so it's not going to work, and it's not a proper puzzle piece. It's not a piece of the Lego set. This guy, at least, so like this guy, Frightbox guy, I'm gonna like try to find a video that I watched of his this morning. He's like saying, don't layer guitar tracks. I think I'm paraphrasing it right. Have 2 distinct sounding rhythm guitar tracks panned hard left and right. Don't layer them. It's like, dude, if Billy Corgan had followed your advice back in 1992 or 3, we wouldn't have Siamese Dream. The guy's, it's a dumb joke, but, probably maybe part of the reason he's bald is from tearing his hair out, trying to layer 30 guitar tracks for, mayonnaise or silverfuck, yeah, I've read about, I've heard Butch Vig talk about that. I've heard Corgan talk about just the hell he went through. And, he was also, My Bloody Valentine was a big influence of Corgan's, right? If the Corgans of this world followed this paint by numbers Lego advice, we wouldn't have Siamese Dream. This is one of the greatest things sonically in the history of the universe. It has to be. It just has to be. It is. So now, this is a cut above this guy. Well, at least he's telling you how to layer guitars. If you're into that, here's how you can go about doing it. Now, this is kind of like at the tier of how do I sound like, how can I emulate something that I like? Which is fine. That's what some people are into. Again, I'm not knocking it. But notes from the underground. What are you into? There was another one that I wanted to, that is now gone from the feed, but she's this music lawyer. So what I'm alluding to are these, magic frequencies for mixing electric guitars. The best tape simulation is free. All right. She's gone. Oh, no, that's not her. She's a music industry lawyer. And she's one of those, her thumbnails, these thumbnails too, like make a shocked soy face. And YouTube is so cringy. Certain things I'm not doing. Hard bastard. That depends on your politics, okay? But if you're, let's say, right-leaning, and you don't have much use for the modern woke cult insanity, hard bastard, hard bastard. Gotta check out some hard bastard. He does live streams. Anyway, yeah, these the death of the music industry, and then kind of related to that is how to make it on Spotify. There's how to make it on YouTube. My feed is just full of that shit because I have a new YouTube channel, and the algorithm senses my anxieties and frustrations, and it feeds me a consistent, diet of I alluded to that also in the song USB Connection. 12 banging tips to ramp up engagement. It's like, I miss the days of MySpace. That was just way more human. It was just way more organically interactive. MySpace, I miss MySpace. This guy, he's talking about this guy. That's Airwindows guy. The best tape simulation is free. He's talking about Airwindows guy. I'm going to do that tonight. Mastering with Airwindows. And he's right. The best tape simulation is free. He's right. So I need to open that in a new tab because I don't know this guy.
I've been getting a lot of messages.
Okay, another British guy. I don't know what. I knew he was British. I could tell by the soy face. That's a British guy. Actually, no, he could be American. Anyway, soy face, thumbnail notwithstanding, he's talking about Airwindows guy. So points for him. I'm gonna go check out his channel. Right. So so notes from the underground. It's like, so we live in this unprecedented era where I can sit here with, you can see my spread. Let's just expand this again. I've got here's my DAW right here, and here's my audio interface, and there's my pedal board, my rock organ, my system big rock organ pedal, as far as I'm concerned, with a really over-the-top delay. My Class D switching acoustic image Claris 2R amplifier, my Behringer speaker, my two guitars that I use on really, this Korean Yamaha SG is that's my workhorse. The other guy I use occasionally, but it's really hard to track acoustic guitars in this room. It's a boxy concrete room. I can't stick foam on the walls because of reasons. And anyway, oh man, God, I meander. So This is as underground as it gets. Where are my monitor speakers? They're right over there. I turn the camera around, just so you know. Yeah, I do have a. This is my Linux station. That's my home theater, and this is where I go to. Yeah, I have a entry level pair of monitor speakers. Kurzweil speakers. They're not garbage. You know, they're pretty good. I don't rely on them. I do most of my referencing with cheap ass junk. You know, $5 soundbar. Shit like this. $5 earphones that are just mid-rangey as fuck, with really brittle trebles, and farty low end, right? But some people are, sometimes you find yourself listening to stuff through things like this, and I strive to make things sound as good as possible on as many things as possible, right? The monitor speakers are, I look at that as, that's the final litmus test. Those are very unforgiving. But the vast majority of people are not listening through monitor speakers. That's just, I've got a hearing impediment in my left ear. I woke up one morning stone deaf in my left ear, and I almost got hit by a bus because of it that morning. Some people pulled me. I couldn't hear the bus coming. I was waiting at a crosswalk going from the clinic to the hospital, trying not to weep. This is something like 10 or 11 years ago. Oh, jeez. And the light turned green. Really busy thoroughfare, and I saw the light turn green, and I started to step out, and these hands grabbed me from behind and pulled me back on the sidewalk, and this bus just went this far in front of my face. Anyway, it was called, the doctor called it SSNHL, sudden sensory neural hearing loss, something like that, from stress. Anyway, since then I've regained, I don't know, roughly 60% volume. I can't hear anything above about 3,000 hertz in my left ear. And to top it all off, I have a pitch difference between my ears. My left ear is a little bit flat. So I got to deal with that. I've got to compensate for that especially when I use a lot of modulation effects. And, yeah. So anyways, that's where my mastering speakers are. Anyway, digression after digression. So, paint by numbers, notes from the underground. Yeah, you can get on Spotify and you can play the game. YouTube is a game. It could be a full-time. To me, it's just. But you can do that. You can listen to Rick Beato go over the top 10 on Spotify, and and rave about the production values. And it's like, I get it. I get it. There are there are things in the Spotify top 10 that I I can't even I wouldn't even attempt to do that. For one thing, it's frankly um, probably beyond my technical ability. It I hesitate to say that I don't have the gear for it. It's really not an issue anymore in this day and age. It really isn't. um, I feel like I came close to that level of kind of pristine clarity and with my song Million Mile Gaze. And I did that on purpose. I did it to, so the, we're going to talk about, we're going to look into my mix for this song, Maybe I'm Cursed, which for some reason the algorithm favored, and it's gotten a lot of views and listens, and I've gotten a few subscribers from that track. Maybe I'm Cursed, but my long-suffering missus is just terrified of that song. She runs away from it. It's really scary for her, and a couple other females in my life just like, wow, that's scary. And yeah, why is that? I think I know why. Because it comes from a scary place. It comes from a fucking scary ass place. And they sense it. And so Million Mile Gaze came from the same place. It came from that same place. But I made that track specifically for the women folk. I made it as pretty as I possibly could. And it went over well. They appreciated it. And, you know, I kind of went for a spot. Like if I was trying to impress people on Spotify, if I was throwing a Hail Mary, you know, trying to get ranked on Spotify, what would I do? How would I go about things? How would I depart from my usual cantankerous ways? So that's something you can do. You know, you can try to play it, but so Rick Beato, top 10 Spotify. Oh, the production's fantastic. You know, he'll rave about the production, and to me, it's just like, yeah, it's impressive. It's technically very impressive. It's ultra clear. It's limpid. Limpid. Let's look up that word limpid. See if that means what I remember meaning. Limpid. Characterized by transparent clearness, pellucid, free from clouds or haze, limpid. But again, green language, it contains that word limp. You know, it's limpid, but it's also kind of like, maybe limp is not the right word. It's delicate. It's delicate. It's it doesn't have wild ass energy in it. It's paint by numbers. It's Lego music. And so you're in this is the underground. What do I want to do? Do I want to be constantly evolving my abilities and skills? Yes. Am I open to tips and tricks? Yes. And occasionally in these videos, you know, I find them. Right? But do I want to do paint by numbers and play the Spotify game? Zero. Minus infinite interest in that. Right? So, anyway. This is what... So let's go to Frightbox. Frightbox. Frightbox! Here's a box that you can put yourself in to alleviate the fright of, what is it? YOLO? No, that's you only live once. FOMO. FOMO. Fear of missing out? Maybe that's not right either. Anyway, you get the point. Listen to his, listen to that. This is his, this tells you everything. The tattoo art skull that is ripped off of Iron Maiden. Oh, God, no. All right, I'm already shitting on the guy. This is too fucking loud as a, I've got my mic turned all the way up because I would like to hear my own voice. Listen to this goddamn, I'm going to turn the volume down. Listen to the intro music.
Hello, Bobby Torres of...
Wait a minute. Oh no, wait. Did I open the wrong one? Where the hell am I? I thought I was at Frightbox. Frightbox. Frightbox, yeah, this is Frightbox. Where's that?
Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox. Back for you and the third tech...
Where's that theme music that kicked in? Did I just like...
Hello, Bobby Torres of...
Did I just enter an alternate timeline? I stopped it all of a sudden because there was that onslaught of theme music. Where the hell did it go? All right. Back up. Steve Terryberry. That guy's hilarious. And he's insanely technically proficient at the guitar. And funny. Normally his style of comedy is really slapstick, and I don't normally go in for slapstick, but the dude is funny as fuck. Stevie T. All right, this changes every time I go back. Frightbox, where's Frightbox? Going on too long. Okay, well, maybe we'll get to the... There it is. There it is. Do I have to... I don't need to explain that, do I? That's it. You know? That's what this guy does.
Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox.
Oh, now it's not playing the intro. Why? You only get to hear it once. It's that good. You only get to hear it once. 3 stupid, simple EQ settings to clean up guitar tracks. But I want to go to his channel. And gain staging is a waste of time. Again, it's like clickbait. Gain staging is a waste of time. Look at how fucking stupid that is on the face of it. It's really annoying. Real amps aren't worth it. Amp sims are way better. Look at these titles. Why parallel compression might not be for you. Well, that's reasonable. The downfall of home recording. Oh yeah. Yeah. I could really shit on him about that. His take on that. I shit posted on his comment section one time. He made a video about yeah, it might have even been this video. People have been, home recording has been alive and well. People have had DAWs in their bedrooms for more than 20 years, but their home recordings still don't sound professional. And he's shitting on, home recording hobbyists because their recordings don't sound professional, like your theme music blurb, whatever it is. And I left the comment, which out of all the comments I ever left on YouTube, that probably got the most likes out of any comment I ever left. I said, there's about as much wrong with a home recording sound as there is with, moonshine or blackberry wine that someone made in their cellar. something like that. And I ended, you professionals are snobs. And I got a lot of likes and people chiming in. Because it's true. Anyway, videos. What did I watch this morning? Expensive home recording gear is dumb for most music. Okay, fair enough. And why I decided to close my recording studio. Yeah. I can't find it. Why mixing is overrated. That's it. That's the one I watched.
All the time, and they ask for mix reviews and ask.
Listen to what he said. Listen to it. Here's how he opens. Jump cut production.
Man, that's good.
Yeah.
Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox.
He's gonna plug that soda later on, right? And by the way, this always goes into his sales funnel. Every single time it goes into his sales funnel. I also alluded to that in USB connection. Got a vision for a tunnel. Sell them down the sales funnel. It's all inextricably intertwined. Right? This is all a big sales funnel. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay? It's like, it's a business model. I get it. And, all right, just if you're going to do that, if you're going to herd people down a sales funnel, well, there's different ways to go about that. You can be of service to your fellow man while you do it. All right? So why mixing is overrated?
Box recording here. So the question is, do you ever feel like no matter what mixing technique or trick that you use, your music just is missing something? It just doesn't sound professional. And no matter what...
No, I never feel that way. I don't. First of all, I don't expect myself to sound professional because I'm not a professional. And if I feel that there's something missing, I add something. And if I feel that something needs to be missing, I subtract it. I call this it's my philosophy of arithmetic. Everything you do in life can be boiled down to the 4 operations of arithmetic. Addition, subtraction, division, and the most important one of all, multiplication. It's simple addition and subtraction for the most part. And when you get into editing, division, right? I could do a whole video on my philosophy of arithmetic. But no, I don't feel that way, Mr. Frightbox. I never feel that way.
What fancy technique, parallel processing, EQ matching, no matter what you do, your mixes just don't get any better.
There's such a big mystique about all that, Mr. Frightbox. I'm shitting on him. Yeah, that stuff is just so arcane and mysterious. So, all right, this is the kind of person he's appealing to. Everything he just mentioned has a learning curve of 30 minutes just to get the essentials. And then you fiddle around with it and you try it and you find out if it has any application for what you want to do and to what degree. It might be another tool in your kit. It might be something you do all the time from then on. Or it might be something you reject.
Well, I have news for you. Your issue might not be a mix issue at all. Because the truth is, mixing's kind of overrated. And I'm going to explain why in this video.
Mixing's kind of overrated. You see, it's that counterintuitive and yet easy at the same time. It's simple, but it's counterintuitive.
Let's dive into it.
Let's dive into it. There it is. All right.
So over the last few years of running this YouTube channel, people send me their mixes all of the time, and they ask for mix reviews and ask what they can do to make their mixes better.
Really? People do that? I guess I don't doubt it. It's like, that's something I would never presume to do to someone who's, I'm using the word presume twice in the same breath practically, who is presumably busy with a livelihood. And I'm going to send them a mix and ask them to critique it? Does that really happen? Do people actually do that? Nothing surprises me anymore. But that's who he's appealing to.
And the one thing that stands out so much is that so many of these issues that people think are mixing issues are actually not mixing issues at all. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 most common mixing issues that people think that they have, when in reality, like I said, they're actually not mix issues. The first issue is drum mixes. Okay, so the common denominator with all of these issues that he's talking about, and now, okay, so credit where it's due. There's a kernel of truth and wisdom in all this. There is a valid point that he's making. If you're making bad arrangement decisions, and if you're making a lot of mistakes during tracking, yeah, there's unless you're some bands do that on purpose. They just they don't tune their guitars. And have you encountered this? Remember that band Pavement from the 90s? I can't. Anyway, some people make an art out of sloppiness. Okay, which is fine. To each their own. The world needs all kinds. Truly, I mean that. But he's making a valid point. All right, if you want Snap-on, Lego, paint by numbers, industry standard, Spotify friendly, Spotify top 10 friendly, connectivity, modular, if you want to sound standard and correct, then, they're just, there's some things that you do during tracking and some decisions that you might make during, when you're doing arrangements that you can't put a Band-Aid on it in the mixing process. You can't mix over it, nor should you. Although I've had some rather interesting results from, I'll be quite honest. There have been times when I've got a track, I've got a take, and it's got a mistake in it, or more than one mistake. It's got a couple of issues, but I'm not a terribly proficient player. Maybe the part was hard. It took me a long time to get it as good as I got it, and I just don't want to go back and do it again. And so how can I put lipstick on a pig? You can do that. You can polish a turd. But those are bad examples. Alchemy. So, it's like he's making a valid point, but he's leaving something out. Can mixing fix those things? Can it erase those things? No. Does that mean don't try? Does it mean you shouldn't try? You can learn a lot trying to mix around things and mix through things and mix over things, and taking perceived failures and exploiting them, turning them around, making them useful in some way. Anyway, so
the common denominator to all these is, if you don't track correctly, and if you don't, then there's mixing is. But along the way, he's like, he's dropping things like, don't layer guitar tracks, as I mentioned before, and he talks about quadding, and I never do that. I only with a hardcore metal band, I'll do this, but I won't do that. But only in this case I'll do that. It's like, all right. I'm not gonna go through the whole video, obviously, but anyway, I wish I could go straight to the point where he actually says these things, but I'm not gonna try. Let's just go to my if I heeded his advice, I forgot to do this again. Here. I'm so dumb. I've been talking about the screen. I didn't make it anyways. Here we are. So here's Maybe I'm Cursed, which a lot of people like. And look what I got here. I got, let's see, here's rhythm guitar. I'm just going to go ahead and solo the guitar tracks. Okay. So, let me see. I'm going to console view. Drums and trim, that's a guitar track, because this is something that I typically do. I use the drum machine in my M-Audio black box audio interface, and oftentimes I lay down the main drum track with a time-based guitar, using a time-based effect. And that's a no-no, right? You want separation, man. You gotta separate that shit, man. Right? Sometimes I like self-imposed limitations, like a game. So I'm going to solo that. And rhythm guitar, I'm going to solo that. Let's see, 86 Power 8, that sounds like a guitar, solo that. 90 Sync Op, sounds like a guitar track, going to solo that. 57 Random 3, that's a guitar track, solo that. Acoustic, that's a guitar track, solo that. And guitar solos, we'll get to those in a minute. Okay, so let's go back here. And so fairly long intro, don't want to belabor it, but you can hear that it's not just a drum track. And what do I got in terms of plugins here? Froze the track, so I can't open them up and go through them, but okay. Percussion strip, TDR Nova, that's a Desert Island plugin right there. Fin Micro, another Desert Island plugin. Ferris TDS MK2, that's another Desert Island plugin. Okay, no delays. So what you're hearing there is basically the track enhanced, just enhanced and limited and saturated and compressed a bit. And then we get into the other guitar parts. Don't layer guitar parts. And I want you to notice something else too. You see my pan knobs? Okay? Acoustic is, why is acoustic panned left 25%? I think that's a mistake. Click, click. I might have done that by mistake, because I never pan anything left without panning something right. I'm a Libra. If you're a Doug Stanhope fan, you might appreciate the subtle humor. I'm a Libra. October 10th, dead center, Libra. But also it's because of my hearing impediment. I don't pan things very much. I use spatializers and stereoizers. Because if I'm going to pan something left, I'm going to compensate by panning either the same thing left and right, or anyway. There's nothing panned. These guitar tracks are all sitting on top of each other in terms of panning. What do I got going on up here in Pro Channel frequencies? Solo, solo, solo. So these are 4 guitar tracks soloed. And so I got six tracks that have guitars in them, if not exclusively guitar. Then, so you can see how I've got some overlap in the EQs. Got some separation, right? Look at this one, look at that one. Okay, those are kind of like, so you can see that, you see what I'm doing? All right, I don't need to explain it, just look at the curves. And then these, shit, see what I did? You got to be careful of the scroll wheel in Cakewalk. That's probably how I did that pan. I was mousing over the pan knob trying to scroll the screen up, and look, the scroll wheel turns into a, right? You got to be careful where you use the scroll wheel. Another thing, this guy, the Spritebox guy, you know, I threw away 80% of my plugins because plugins, you know, you shouldn't be using too many plugins. It's like, again, there's a point to be had, you know, like, it's like, yeah, have a basic toolkit that you know how to use well, your go-to plugins. But, you know, it's like, don't go off, you know, experimenting with a lot of other plugins, because, you know, things get messy and you might waste time. It's like, all right, well, I guess, you know, if you're running a business, if you're running Frightbox Project Studio in a concrete box, all right, go shitting on him again. Right? So there's my Pro Channel. If you don't know about, I don't know if Cakewalk, Pro Channel, it's the channel strip that comes before your, in the audio chain after the gain input. It's a channel strip that is native to Cakewalk that comes in the chain before your channel strip. I find it incredibly useful and serviceable. So, you know, but these are all sitting on top of each other in terms of panning. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and play them all soloed, starting about right here. Okay, so there's the solos track. There's an outro. We're not going to bother with that right now. So we're looking at, what are they? Okay, yeah. Rhythm guitar, 86 power 8, 90 sync-op doesn't come in till over here, 57 random 3 here, acoustic here. So let's listen to these. Here where the power 8 kicked in. Okay, so power 8 kicks in right here. That's that sound. 90 sync-op kicks in here. So let me go back here and... '86 power 8. Uh-oh. Okay, it's just rhythm guitar. That's my rhythm guitar. in 57 Random 3. You hear how they're doing something totally fucking different? Don't layer your guitar tracks. As a rule of thumb, don't layer guitar tracks. All right, Frightbox. What if you could think out of the box a little bit? Listen to 57 Random 3 soloed. You hear that? Now acoustic. Dude, what the fuck is up with that? I know, right? Let's look at the EQ curve for acoustic. Fuck it, I'm going on for as long as I want. Sorry. I don't mean to tax people's time. I don't. But hey, I'm having fun, so this is good for me. This is good for me. Yeah, there's the curve for acoustic. So where is it? It's spiked in the low mid-range. And these plugins are all doing, again, notice the prevalence of Airwindows in here. I'm going to be getting to Airwindows tonight. TDR Molotov, Desert Island, TDR Nova, Desert Island, Desert Island, Desert Island. Channel Tools, not Desert Island, but that's an ambience plugin. And so, what? It doesn't sound very nice on its own. But it's separate as fuck. It's, listen to it with the rhythm guitar. Now, what was I going after? I was going after string sound. String sound. Yeah. And I was going after something that would kind of, though not directly, that would kind of hit the ear and the brain kind of like a ride cymbal. This is the best way I can describe my intentions. Obviously, I don't have a ride cymbal. I can't add ride cymbals to, and normally I'm not a fan of ride cymbals. It just seemed called for. This is what I thought was called for at the time. But you can hear how these things are doing three entirely different things. All right. Here's the 86 Power 8. I'm just going to solo that first. These are all named after settings in my audio interface, just to remind me of where I got them. All right. Rhythm guitar. All right. Did I neglect 57 random 3? No, I didn't. You heard that soloed, right? Take that out. According to Frightbox Guy, I should have stopped here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, bass. Might as well add the bass. I should have stopped here. According to Frightbox Guy, I should have stopped here with rhythm guitar. And what else would he have allowed me to put in? You know, according to his Lego principles, right? Which... nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. But this is better. I keep looking at the microphone like it's the camera. I'm such an idiot. I should be doing that. And then here comes 86 power 8. Or there's Frightbox. All right, so here comes 90 sync-op. Let's hear that soloed. Boom, boom, boom. Here. Ooh. I'm practically the edge. Listen to those polyrhythms. You know? Don't layer guitar tracks. Stay in the fright box. Don't layer guitar tracks. It's like, what? This is what annoys me about YouTube. You know, and there's guys that are, you know, passing off this, you know, Lego paint by numbers wisdom. You know, and they got, you know, they're making a decent, they're making a handsome living at it. Right. Well, you know, so again, I'm being a bad person by shitting on him. Because if I just upped my game and got my own sales funnel going, and I was more disciplined and I applied myself, I was more diligent, as the Koreans like to say, you know, and I would be doing a service to my fellow man. But I don't know how to teach this. I certainly don't know how to teach this in 10-minute fucking sound bites. If if I could figure out how to do that, if I could put this in a bottle and sell it, I suppose I would. But I can't. I don't know. Because I don't. It's not like I didn't go about it in any kind of formulaic way. I just I built it as I went. I found each element and component as I felt it was needed, where it needed to come in. You can't. How do you teach something like that? How do you learn something like that? Well, one way to learn it is, you sit with someone who's doing it and observe what's going on. And if you have the capacity for it, then you do. If you don't, you don't. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here either, but I'm using this example because this most of my videos get 30 views if I'm lucky, and this one's gotten well over 2,000. This song, this video, and it's compelling. So I'm using this as an example. I'm holding this up. This works. People have responded to this, and here's why it works. Here's under the hood. I mean, listen to it. Right? So let me see. Solo. Let's hear everything soloed together. Power 8. Acoustic. Here's all of it together. That's a bit more subtle. '90s sync-op is there to poke you in the coccyx. That's your tailbone, I think. You're supposed to feel that just north of your tailbone. Right? In that region. That's to be felt more than heard. But when you listen to it by itself, it's just gnarly. And now let's get into the solos. And I've got the first solo on top of everything but 90 sync-op, and the second solo on top of all of it, right? And how are you going to make a solo cut through all that? Well, that was an interesting problem. Look how many fucking plugins it took me. 12 plugins. And is that because, I'm stupid and I'm a neophyte and I'm just using plugins because I don't know? I'm using too many plugins because I don't know any better? No, that's not the reason why there's 12 plugins. The reason why there's 12 plugins, and if I unfreeze this, that's what the waveforms looked like. Okay? And I tracked them pretty hot, especially this one. And I did it with this Line 6 synth modeler, the Purple Goblin. It's a horrible thing. Really, it's got some nasty sounds in it. Really, really, really nasty shit. Gnarly, nasty. But it's all grist for the mill, man. That's why I kept it around. I kept it around exactly for shit like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Okay, well, maybe let's look at these plugins. Why so many plugins? The masker, okay, now that is I confess, normally I don't do this. That is a masking compression plugin. It's basically a shortcut to ducking. It's basically automated sidechain. And it's a very unstable plugin, and I don't even want to open it. I don't want to even touch it because it might just crash Cakewalk. I don't even. Why did I decide to leave it in there? Anyway, I did. It was developed by some college students in somewhere in Italy. Boost 11. It's a boost of how many? Six decibel boost. TDR Molitok. 19.9 decibels threshold. Only 3 on ratio. 9.1 on makeup. This knob here kind of darkens it a little bit, and attack at 7.1. Kind of standard. I like that for. Anyway, that's what I did with the Desert Island compression plugin. Tube Screamer emulator. Drive all the way up, level all the way up, everything all the way up. Tube leveler. 5.9 decibel boost. This is all shit you're not supposed to do. Macany distortion. This is a Airwindows. Once you discover Airwindows and you start understanding what Airwindows is about, it's gonna, trust me. Okay, this is, oh man, I got to put this on the screen. This one right here. I'm not even going to go into what this does right now, but Chris Hooker's Octaver OC-D2. This does some shit, man. Look into it. Look into it. The Octaver OC-D2. Chris Hooker's, okay? Not just any old Octaver OC-D2. Chris Hooker's Octaver OC-D2. Yeah. Don't usually use this one. Usually I use the TDR Nova. This is a multi-band compressor. I use this one for some reason. Fin Micro, Desert Island. It's a compressor with effects on the flanger setting. Another Airwindows. Discontinuity. Again, I'm looking into the microphone like it's a camera. It's because I see sound. I'm synesthesic. Is that the right word? I see sound. I see colors and sound. For me, sound and vision are. So I look into the goddamn microphone. Discontinuity. Models air under intense loudness. Guys, I'm going to talk about that tonight. There's a reverb. These days I just bust my reverb. I'll be talking about that more too. But Cakewalk has a good native reverb. Perfectly good. And then this is a Desert Island gentle leveling. This is a saturation compressor limiter. It's fantastic. I use it all the time. It's got a great UI. It looks really cool too. And it's got a view meter. I like view meters. They're worthless for digital, but they're fun to look at. They don't serve any purpose, but they're fun to look at. So, it just started raining outside. Can you hear the rain? Beautiful fall rain. Not finally starting to get fall-like here. All right, so I'm going to undo the unfreeze. And that's what it looks like. That's what the waveform looks like after processing, right? And so let's listen to it solo. Listen to how nasty this sounds. All right. And most of the nastiness comes from the Line 6 synth modeler. All those plugins were about shaping it and taming it and focusing its energy And okay, it's like this. It's like a toxic, it's like a hot, seething, toxic sludge that I'm extruding through the cracks of all those other guitar tracks, and just, it's like, toxic lava, radioactive lava, and I'm just extruding it out through the, I'm looking into the mic again, through the cracks, the frequency cracks. And I knew exactly what I was going after, and I got exactly what I was going after. And I didn't get it by following Frightbox and guys like him. And I didn't get it from knowing what the hell I'm doing either. At best I have some idea of what I'm doing. And a lot of times my ideas are wrong. What if I try that? No. And it's like a door that slams in your face. And then it was like, well, what about that? No. You get 50 doors slammed in your face. And then a few open, and then you just... Or you can listen to Frightbox. Here's what it sounds like solo. And you can hear what a shitty guitar player I am. And yes, I had to play that like at least 50 times to get it. I can't improvise solos. I have to compose them. I have to compose them as I fail and fail and fail and fail and fail. And then I gradually piece a solo together of parts that come together and eventually, and then once I get it composed, I have to like try it dozens of times, sometimes, to get it right. And here's what the second one sounds like. One of the biggest challenges there, besides playing the damn, and you can hear what a caveman player I am. I'm so like heavy fingered and heavy handed. But the main thing is it works in the mix. But that was like 4 runs that 4 variations of a run that starts down in first position on the neck, and goes up. It's a riff basically, going up through along the neck, up through the strings, and getting those lower. I didn't fully succeed in getting those first few notes to extrude. They're kind of more implied than anything in the mix, and so let's just like. All right, so like listen to it in the mix. Let's just listen to it with rhythm guitar. burying that rhythm guitar, right? Right? Well, let's turn on. Did I? Oh, I unsoloed the bass. Yeah, let's see the bass unsoloed. Let's turn on the drums and trap. Now, in reference to the drum track, you can hear that rhythm guitar. Because that's part of rhythm is part of making things poke out. It's not just frequencies, it's rhythm, it's time. Frequencies and time. And space. And now that nastiness begins to make sense with what the trem guitar is doing in the drum track. You can faintly hear the words. You can faintly hear the lyrics there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stick in the vocal. Why not? Now, let's listen to the second solo in context. Now we've got 90 sync-op in there. Now I'm going to throw in the vocal because I want to make a point about that. You don't want to bury things, right? You don't want to bury the vocal. Don't bury the vocal. You might bury the vocals. Yeah. Main vocal. Well, I might as well just unsolo shit now. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now we're listening to the whole mix. And, listen to the... wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, so here's the vocal coming back in. And let me fit project. There we go. So here's where the vocal part comes back in. Right there. And the solo is far from over. This is all the solo fizzling out. You can barely hear the second, maybe I'm cursed. You can barely hear it. Now I'm forcing the vocal to kind of crackle through. And I heard that not as something to correct. It's like, damn. That was unintended. It was one of those happy accidents. I was, right. I don't have to keep going on about this. I've made my point. But Yeah. Don't layer guitar tracks. Okay. And I'm shitting on Frightbox. Sorry, Frightbox. I'm sorry for shitting. So I'm not trying to shit on him as a person, but with that whole, you know, some things, you know, he puts himself out there for shitting on, and it goes with the territory. And you know, reinforcing certain beliefs that are very limiting and frustrate that are counter creative and boring and just dumb, and just I get, you know, so right. Notes from the underground. You're underground. You wanna go up above ground. You wanna get out in the harsh sunlight and be seen and heard by a lot of people. Then, you know, paint by numbers, I guess. You know? Learn to work with Legos. Snap your Legos together. Paint by numbers. Or, you know, get the fucking paint everywhere and smear it around, and then, you know, or sometimes you know, wash off your hands and get some brushes and tweak it, texturize it, and, you know, or sometimes, you know, sketching with charcoal, shading, you know. I really do look at this as it's painting. It's frequency. I call this frequency painting. That's what I call what I do to myself. It's frequency painting. Like I said, I'm synesthetic. To me, it's all colors. It all has colors. And it's frequency painting. So anyways, you know, so that's my point. I'm committed to being truly underground, not because you know, I mean, I won't lie. I like the fact that this song got a lot of hits, a lot of views. I like it. I like that people dig it. I like that. It strokes my ego a little bit. It gives me some much needed, you know, not much needed, but it gives me some welcome. You know, I don't want to use the word validation. It's just nice. It's nice that when people dig something that you do. Some people have down thumbed it though. You know, probably because I got a little bit political in the video, a little bit. That's probably why. But maybe some people didn't like the sound. I don't know. But anyway, I don't expect to ever get like popular or get a big following. I don't know even if I would want that. You know. But it's nice to be heard. I'm going to say even if only by a few people, but especially by just like a few people who really get it. This is Notes from the Underground right here. This is, you know, I wanted to touch on this last night, but it was long enough. And now this is too long, but who cares? If you're into it, maybe Mr. Is it Soundacre Studios? Like, you watched that over an hour, and I was blown away. He dude actually watched it, commented on it, and so I thought I'll sit down and just kind of like say what I left unsaid about Notes from the Underground. And I was thinking about you in particular, like, I'm not going to go on. I'm just like, okay, 10 to 12 minutes, right? Yeah, okay, so I apologize, but I sometimes longer stuff. I'll watch it in installments. I'll watch 10 minutes here and there, and I'll get through it. There are some people I listen to. I do piecemeal if I have to. Not saying do that, but anyways, my apologies for the length, but fuck it. Outro. You hear that solo? What is the outro? I forget. I forgot I had an outro in here. What is that? Okay, so I'm just like arpeggiating through the chord progression. Obviously, that's a tube amp plugin. I wish I had noted it instead of just calling it outro. I wish I had made a note of which amp model that was. It sounds pretty fat and tubey. I must have really been serious about it. 11 fucking plugins. I treated it much as I did the solos. Got the solo treatment. Why? Why did I do that? Let's hear it in the mix. As long as I've gone this far, I'm going to go the full distance. All right. So first, I'm just going to solo and then unsolo. You can hear it drop out. You can hear it drop out. This is this one is about absence, presence and absence. I suppose I felt that it needed something on the bottom, a seat warmer, digital audio, the world of digital audio can be kind of frosty and chilly sometimes, and I do what I can to warm it up. Airwindows. You can hear it drop out when I mute it. Sure as shit. And then that's the trail off sound at the end. All right. So there's my rant about YouTube how to paint by numbers, Legoland, audio tips and tricks. And how do I make it? What I just went through here, with these layered guitar tracks. How do I make a 15-minute fucking video tutorial on that? I don't know. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I just lack the organizational skills or the brain power. I don't know. I just don't think it can be done. How many hours did it take me to figure that out? Not too many, actually. This one came together pretty fast, this one. Still, it's like, yeah. Anyway, that's my rant. Notes from the underground. Now it's not a postscript, it's a full-on addendum. And it is what it is, as I keep saying. So, that's maybe I'm cursed. Save changes to maybe I'm cursed? No. Why mixing is overrated. You know? I'm picking on Frightbox Guy, but you know, it's unfair to pick on him because he just happens to be the guy that showed up in my feed this morning, and I watched his stupid video. Not entirely stupid, only like 85% stupid. But the 15% that's good is compromised by the stupidity. You know? All right, anyways, that's it for now. I got to go get ready to take care of my livelihood. It's Friday here, and this coming weekend is a 5-day weekend. It's a 5-day holiday. It's a Korean Thanksgiving holiday. It's based on the lunar calendar. Sometimes it's in mid-September, sometimes late September, sometimes early October. You know, usually in mid to late September. And it's called Chuseok. And it's awesome. People here hate it because of things like traffic jams and you know, they're getting, oh man, it's like certain things that I love about, that I value about being, albeit somewhat of an outside member, but by now, you know, I've been married in, second marriage, but married in for 15 years now, and you know, I'm a member of the family. I'm a member of society. I'm not a voter, but you know, I'm not a citizen, but you know, I like they still have a semblance of family values. Yeah, I'm right-leaning, in case you hadn't guessed. The children, you know, you don't have to worry. There's no hoodlums. You don't have to worry about kids attacking you or anything when you go out. They don't vandalize shit. And there's still a strong sense of family here, but they're getting more jaded as they get kind of infected by modernity. And they don't appreciate the big family get-togethers on Korean Thanksgiving like I do. We're having the in-laws over here. Hell, maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll do a Chuseok video for my 79 subscribers and show you what Chuseok looks like. Yeah, I'll do that. See, you know, I should stop stressing about this channel and just start having fun with it. And the devil may care. Yeah, I'm going to do a Chuseok video. I'm going to show you what Thanksgiving looks like in a Korean household. With like my mother-in-law. She's a barrel of monkeys. And my other in-laws, especially once they start to drinking. I won't be drinking. Yeah, I'll do a Korean Thanksgiving video. Give you some local color. And all right. Tonight, if everything goes according to plan, so I got to go attend to my livelihood for the rest of this afternoon, and then come back and do spotlight on Airwindows for not only mastering, I'm going to focus on mastering, but also for mixing. All right, that's it. Over and out. Thanks for listening and watching. From lovely Paju City, South Korea, where 5 kilometers south of the North Korean border, where all hell could break loose at any given moment. Not, but maybe.